Have you ever realized your dreams are still alive, but you keep hitting snooze on them? Have you ever felt inspired by a video, then hated yourself the next morning for doing nothing? Watch till the end, because what you're about to hear might explain why your life hasn't changed yet. This is the rule of 5 a.m. and why Ethan ignored it for years. Ethan was a night security guard in the city. Not a hero, not a criminal, just invisible. Every night, he stood under flickering lights, watching empty buildings sleep while his own life stayed awake with regret. The city moved fast around him, but he felt stuck, like everyone else got a manual he never received. His apartment told the truth he avoided. Peeling paint, a broken chair, clothes piled in corners. A place that felt temporary, even though years had passed. He used to say it was just for now, but deep down, he knew the lie hurt more each time he repeated it. Ethan had big dreams. Not loud ones, quiet ones. He wanted a better job, something in IT. He wanted to study computer networking, get certified, work days instead of nights. He imagined himself walking into an office with clean floors and purpose in his step. But imagination was easy at 2 a.m. Action was hard at 5 a.m. Every shift ended the same way. He promised himself, tomorrow I'll wake up early. Tomorrow he'd study. Tomorrow he'd work out. Tomorrow he'd fix his life. But tomorrow always arrived tired. When the alarm rang at 5 a.m., his body felt heavy. His mind made deals. Just one more hour. You worked all night. You'll start Monday. And just like that, potential went back to sleep. Scrolling became his routine. Motivational videos. Men waking up early. Men lifting weights. Men winning. For 10 minutes, he felt inspired. For 10 hours, he felt ashamed. Because when the screen went dark, nothing changed. Ethan noticed something painful. The same people he started with were moving ahead. Promotions. Better bodies. Better lives. No one said it out loud, but he felt left behind. And the worst part wasn't failure. It was knowing he never really tried. One morning, standing in his kitchen, staring at instant noodles again, a thought hit him hard. Maybe his life wasn't broken. Maybe his mornings were. That thought scared him. Because if that was true, then excuses were the real enemy. And excuses felt comfortable. Ethan looked at the clock. 4:58 a.m. His alarm was about to ring. For the first time, he didn't turn it off early. He stood there, heart beating faster than it should. Because this time, he knew a decision was coming. Would he finally face the morning or hide and sleep again? He didn't sleep after that thought. The clock kept moving, slow and loud. Every minute felt like pressure on his chest. This wasn't motivation. This was fear. At 5 a.m., the alarm rang. Sharp, unforgiving. Ethan sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the floor. His body begged him to lie back down. His mind replayed every excuse it had practiced for years. You worked all night. You can't change everything at once. Other people have it easier. He almost listened. Almost. Instead, he stood up. Not strong. Not confident, just tired and angry at himself. The apartment felt different at that hour. Quiet, honest, no noise to hide behind, no one watching, just him and a life he kept postponing. He didn't start big. No dramatic transformation. He drank water, did 10 push-ups on the cold floor. His arms shook. His breath felt heavy. It was embarrassing how weak he felt. After that, he opened an old laptop. The screen took forever to turn on. Cracked corner. Loud fan. It matched his apartment perfectly. Ethan had enrolled months ago in an online computer networking course. Basic IT fundamentals. TCP, IP. Network security basics. He paid for it, then ignored it. Like everything else that scared him. He watched the first lesson. Didn't understand half of it. Paused. Rewound. Took notes on loose paper because he didn't even own a notebook. 30 minutes passed, then 45. Then the sun started leaking through the window. Something strange happened. He didn't feel proud. He felt exposed, like he had no excuse left. That night at work, he saw his job differently. The cameras, the cables, the control room. For the first time, he wasn't just guarding buildings. He was studying the world he wanted to enter. But the resistance didn't disappear. The second morning was worse. His body fought harder. His mind got smarter with excuses. You already did it once. Missing one day won't matter. That scared him more than failure, because he recognized that voice. It was the same voice that kept him stuck for years. Days passed. Some mornings he won. Some mornings he lost. And every loss hit harder now because he knew better. He still ate cheap food, still lived in that broken apartment, still wore the same uniform. Nothing on the outside had changed, but something uncomfortable was growing inside him. Awareness. He realized motivation wasn't missing. Discipline was. And discipline didn't care how tired he felt. One night, scrolling again, he stopped on a video. Not a flashy one, just a sentence that stayed with him. If you don't control your morning, your life will always control you. Ethan closed the app, looked at the clock. 4:47 a.m. He set the alarm again, but this time, the fear felt different. He wasn't afraid of waking up. He was afraid of who he'd become if he stopped. The third morning didn't feel heroic. It felt heavy. His eyes burned. His body felt slower than before. This was the part no video showed. Ethan sat on the edge of his bed again. Same spot. Same cracked wall. Different question. How long can I actually keep this up? He stood anyway. Not because he wanted to, because quitting now would make the last 2 mornings meaningless. That thought hurt more than being tired. Workout first. 15 push-ups. Then 20. He failed halfway through the third set and lay on the floor, staring at the ceiling. Sweat mixed with dust. Not impressive, but real. After a quick shower, he opened his laptop again. Today's lesson was harder. Subnetting. Numbers. Logic. His brain resisted. This wasn't scrolling. This demanded effort. He caught himself rereading the same paragraph. Again and again. Frustration crept in. A voice whispered, "Maybe you're not smart enough for this." That voice sounded familiar too. It had stopped him before many times. He remembered school, how he used to sit in the back, how teachers talked about potential, how nothing ever came from it. He told himself he was just bad at studying. That working nights was his limit. But now, alone at 5 a.m., there was nowhere to hide. No coworkers, no noise, just truth. He slowed down, took notes properly this time, bought a cheap notebook on the way home from work, wrote definitions, drew diagrams. It felt awkward, like pretending to be someone else. At his security job, things stayed the same. Long hours, cold coffee, watching other people's businesses succeed. But inside, something shifted. He started noticing how systems worked. Why certain cameras failed. Why the network went down sometimes. Small details he ignored before. One afternoon, his supervisor complained about a network issue. Ethan listened quietly. For the first time, he understood part of the problem. He didn't speak up. Fear held him back. But the seed was planted. The apartment still looked bad. But he cleaned one corner. Just one. Cleared the desk. Put the notebook there. That desk became his signal. This is where mornings happen. Not every day was a win. Some mornings he overslept. Some workouts were skipped. And guilt hit hard. But something was different now. Missing a morning didn't feel normal anymore. It felt wrong. One night, lying in bed, Ethan realized something uncomfortable. Waking up early wasn't fixing his life. It was exposing it. And that raised a dangerous question. What happens when he can no longer unsee the gap between who he is and who he wants to be? By the 4th week, the excitement was gone. This was routine now, and routine was harder than inspiration. Ethan woke up before the alarm some days, not because he felt strong, but because his mind refused to relax. It kept reminding him of time, how much he had wasted, how much was left. The workouts improved slowly. Push-ups became cleaner. His breathing steadied faster. The mirror still didn't show a new man, but it showed effort, and effort felt unfamiliar. Study sessions got longer. An hour, sometimes more. He finished modules on networking fundamentals, started basic cybersecurity lessons, firewalls, access control. Things that once sounded impossible now felt challenging but learnable. Still, doubt never left. Every morning, it waited. Quiet, patient. At work, something changed. A small incident. One camera feed froze during his shift. Normally, he would report it and move on. This time, he checked the cable connection first, then the router. It worked. No uploads, no pras. But the control room felt different after that. Like it wasn't completely out of reach anymore. His supervisor noticed him asking questions, noticed him staying alert. One night, casually, he said, "You ever think about moving into IT support?" The question hit Ethan harder than any workout, because it wasn't motivation. It was possibility. But possibility came with fear. What if he tried and failed? What if he wasn't good enough? What if this routine collapsed the moment life pushed back? The apartment improved slowly too. Clean floor, a real chair, protein powder next to instant noodles. Two lives sharing the same space. Some mornings, he wanted to quit badly, especially after long shifts, especially when his body hurt, especially when progress felt invisible. One night, he skipped the alarm, slept through it, woke up late. The guilt was immediate, heavy. He carried it all day, at work, on the bus, back home. That night, he stood in his kitchen again, same place where the idea first started, same clock on the wall. He realized something uncomfortable. This wasn't about waking up early anymore. It was about identity. If he stopped now, he wouldn't just lose progress. He'd confirm every fear he ever had about himself. The alarm was set again. 5 a.m. No motivation attached, just a decision waiting to be honored. As he lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, a final thought crept in. What if this routine finally led somewhere real? And what if it demanded more than he was ready to give? The fifth part of the journey didn't look dramatic. It looked quiet, almost boring, and that scared Ethan more than struggle ever did. Weeks turned into months. 5 a.m. stayed the same. Workout, study, shower, work, sleep. No uplos, no sadembraxru. But small things stacked up. His notes filled an entire notebook now. He finished his computer networking course, started preparing for an entry-level IT support certification. Practice tests, wrong answers, corrections. Some mornings, doubt hit harder than ever. Why is this taking so long? Others are ahead of you. You should be further by now. Social media didn't help. People posting promotions, before and after pictures, success stories that skipped the boring middle. Ethan compared silently, and comparison made the routine feel pointless. At work, a temporary opening appeared. IT support assistant. Nothing guaranteed. Lower night hours. More responsibility. He read the posting 3 times. Saved it. Didn't apply. Fear took over. What if they asked questions he couldn't answer? What if this exposed him as a fraud? The next morning, the alarm rang. He sat on the bed longer than usual, hands shaking slightly. This wasn't about waking up early. This was about stepping forward. He remembered every morning he showed up tired, every push-up done badly, every lesson replayed twice. None of it was wasted. That afternoon, he updated his resume, added his course, added the certification in progress. It felt strange writing a new version of himself. He clicked apply. Nothing happened. No instant response. No relief. Just waiting. Days passed. He kept the routine, because now stopping felt more dangerous than continuing. One night, his supervisor called him into the office. Not smiling. Serious. Ethan's chest tightened. He replayed every mistake in his head. The supervisor looked at him and said, "We're short-staffed in IT. I need someone reliable." Ethan didn't answer immediately. He felt that old fear rise again. The one that always asked the same question. Am I really ready for this? Or am I about to find out I never was? The answer didn't come fast. It sat in the silence between them. Heavy, honest. Ethan nodded. Not confident, not fearless, just done with running. The new role wasn't glamorous. Basic IT support, day shifts, fixing tickets, resetting passwords, running cables, learning in real time. The first week humbled him. He made mistakes, asked questions that felt obvious, went home exhausted in a different way. But something strange happened. He didn't feel empty anymore. Mornings stayed the same. 5 a.m. Workout, study, now focused on real systems, real problems, real growth. The apartment still wasn't perfect, but it felt earned. The desk mattered now. The notebook mattered. He mattered. One night, months later, Ethan caught his reflection in a dark screen at work. Same face, different posture. He thought about that version of himself who kept hitting snooze. The one waiting for motivation. The one watching other people win. That version didn't disappear overnight. It faded one morning at a time. The rule of 5 a.m. didn't change his life by magic. It forced him to face it, daily, uncomfortably, honestly, and that made all the difference. So here's the question. If nothing in your life is changing right now, what time are you waking up?